Take two. Okay, I recorded this video the first time and realized I had my default microphone and it sounded like shit. So I'm going to record it again. What's going on, guys? Isaiah here, aka Vismotrix, coming back at you with another video. So today I wanted to talk about something that I had posted in one of the big Street Fighter groups that I really didn't think was going to be controversial, but apparently it fucking was. So we're going to talk about it because how naive of me to believe that I could post something and not have people disagreeing with it vehemently. So let's get into it. I had posted a comment saying that Smurfs are a bigger problem in the higher ranks as opposed to lower ranks. And what I meant by that was simply the mathematics of it. So if you are a sub-diamond player and you run into a Smurf and they beat you, you are not going to lose as many points as you would if you were a Grandmaster player or above and you ran into a diamond rank who their main account was really like GM or above and they whoop your ass, right? So, excuse me, in the case of the Grandmaster or Master or above player, right? If they lose to that diamond player, they're losing like 270 points, right? And if they beat that diamond player in the set, they're only gaining like 70 points from it, right? So as opposed to lower ranks where you're not losing nearly as much. And you can call it a Smurf, you can call it an alternative count. The shit really doesn't matter. The point of the fact of the matter is, you know, higher ranked players who are playing on alternative accounts, whether or not they're trying to be sneaky about the shit or whether or not they're just playing because they switched to PC or some crap like that, like a lot of people have been doing, right? The point of the matter is, you, as a high-ranked player, are risking a lot more in that match, right? And so it just, from a points perspective, you just lose a lot more at that point in time, right? And that, in this post, that's literally all I was trying to say. It wasn't anything, like, the amount of words that people were trying to put into my fucking mouth was just insane to me. So, it was pretty funny. And I think also really stupid at the same time. People just can't comprehend something when it's explained to them. So when I started going into detail, you know, getting into all these discussions with people, then we got into a whole other discussion about whether or not rank and points matter. Okay? And you have different schools of thought on that. This topic, it has been beaten to fucking death and then beaten some more. And I'm going to beat the shit out of it some more. Okay? So it's already like pummeled into the ground at this point. It's dust. And I'm going to refine that dust some more. So does rank and do points matter online? I'm of the perspective that I think it does matter online. I think that rank is a good general indicator of your skill level. I think if it wasn't a good indicator of your skill level all the way up until like Grandmaster or above, then more people would be in these ranks. But more people are not in these ranks. There's very, very few people who make it to Grandmaster or above. Okay? And why is that? Well, I think quite simply, I think the obvious answer is because you have to have a better understanding of the game to reach these ranks. Now, is it the end-all, be-all determining factor as to who the fuck is going to win a match? No, it's not. And I don't think anybody tries to argue that. Okay? Anybody stands a chance of taking a game off a high-level player. I remember distinctly, there was one example of this tournament I was watching. It was in the UK. It was online, where there was this Guile player. I think he was facing like some Shoto player. And the Guile player was like ultimate Grandmaster. And the guy he was playing was like Super Gold. And the Super Gold beat him. The Super Gold beat him. Okay? And I think that's like the epitome of what people try to say. Like, yeah, rank doesn't mean shit. Look, this Super Gold beat this guy. Okay? But I think the bigger question at hand was, yeah, that Super Gold he might have beaten that Guile player on that particular day, right? And it was fucking hilarious, right? Let's be honest. But generally speaking, can he beat that Guile player consistently? You know, there's going to be like, they say the clock is, even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So, I mean, I play players who I beat the shit out of very often, right? And there'll be times where they just make every right read in a game and they beat me in a match. And that's cool, you know, you learn to accept those kinds of things when they happen. That's fine. It's like, oh shit, like he just got every read right that game. But what happens the next game? I beat them again. And then I beat them again and again and again and again and again. And it's like, well, okay. I mean, I guess that's that. But you're not going to tell me in that point that my rank is not an indicator of like who stands a better chance of winning that match, you know, because it does. Generally speaking, if you were to put a master, grandmaster above against a diamond or below player, who would you put your money on to win the match? Where would you place your bets? Like if it's me, like unless, you know, unless that diamond or below player is a smurf, I'm putting my money on that master GM because generally speaking, they're going to be the better player. And their rank is indicative of that, okay? So that's all I'm trying to say, right? And there's people who try to say that rank doesn't matter at all. And you can hold to that school of thought. There are people who care about tournament results and stuff like that. And I'm going to get into the tournament results here more momentarily. Well, let's talk about points and like, do points matter generally speaking? I do think it's okay, and fuck me, right, to care about points in this game. Because what are points? Points are something that you have to get by beating other people, okay? And so the more points you get, the more people you're beating, which, I mean, like how, at the end of the day, you know, when it comes to people measuring progress and skill, it's like, what is really the meat of the discussion here when it comes to being better at the game? Being better means ultimately that you're going to be winning more matches, right? So, I mean, you can try to like nitpick little shit here and there. Oh no, being better just means you have to understand the mechanics of the game and the strategy and the matchups. But what the fuck does that matter if you're not winning matches? Like, you could understand a matchup inside and out. If you're fucking losing all the time, why does that fucking matter? Like, if you're going to sit here and spit frame data to me off the top of the dome, but you can't beat me in a match, why the fuck does that matter? It's like, it doesn't at that point. You just have in-game knowledge that you can't practically apply. And so, if you aren't getting people's LP, which is like your loot, right? You're getting that bag from them, right? Are you really progressing in the game? Like, if you aren't winning matches against people more and more consistently, so you can know everything you want about the game, but can you practically apply it inside of a match? That's the big question, right? So yeah, I do think points matter. I don't think anybody would argue that points are the end-all be-all determining factor as to who's going to win in a match. That rank is the end-all be-all determining factor. It's not. It's not. Okay? Everybody has their day, right? Well, maybe most people. Maybe not even that, but still, everybody has a shot. Everybody has a shot. Okay? So, and there's some people who try to spin this narrative like tournament results are the only thing worthy of respect. Which, if that's the way you want to think, that's fine. But here's the fact of the matter. The overwhelming majority of people do not go to fucking tournaments in this game. Okay? So to try to spin this narrative that you can only be considered a legit solid player if you're producing tournament results is kind of ridiculous to me. You know? There's a lot of... And here's the other thing, because people talk about going to the locals and all this stuff and, you know, winning their local tournaments and stuff. And then they'll talk shit to you about, you know, winning games online and your rank online and all this stuff. When the people they're playing in locals probably don't even make it to fucking diamond rank and, and you're sitting here beating like master and above ranks while you're playing online, you know. And they're talking about tournament results in their local tournaments. It's like, bro, like, who are you actually beating in your tournaments? Like, I'll tell you right now, I live in North Carolina. My scene is fucking dead here. There's like almost no local. There's almost zero fucking local. As far as where I'm at, I would have to travel to different states to really try to put time into tournament play. And that's just not something I'm really trying to do. I would love if I could go to a local tournament here and there and, you know, bust out some matches there. But offline, it really is also dependent on where you live, how much time and money you're willing to put into traveling, okay? But, you know, I just think that's really funny that you can spin this narrative about only caring about tournament play when it's not necessarily the case that your tournament play is going to be against better people anyway. So it's like, I don't know. So there's just, I think, a lot of toxicity and people trying to perpetuate this mindset, this elitist mindset that you can only be good if you're winning tournaments. I think that's really fucking dumb. I think it's really stupid. So at the end of the day, I do think points matter. I think it's one of the only ways in this game that you can show your progress to other people, right, is by getting that title, right, next to your name. Because there's not much else. You know, if you play other games like an RPG, you know, or whatever, or a racing game, or something like that along those lines, your loot is what you show off. That's what you work hard for, right? And your loot in a fighting game is other people's LP. You're beating these people and you're saying, give me that bag, that shit's mine now, and when I get enough bags, I'm gonna be able to buy this rank, okay? And you have to earn each and every one of those bags, okay? Those bags aren't gonna come free because people don't want to give them up. And so you gotta learn how to take it from them. You gotta rob them, right? Yeah, you gotta beat them into submission, say, give me that shit. And so it's not something that's particularly easy to do to get to this point. Less than 1% of players do it. So if you want to say it's easy, go ahead and bust it out. Especially, you know what's really fucking hilarious to me? Is that a lot of the people who say it's easy to get Grandmaster are always like diamond and below ranks. They're like, oh, it's fucking easy. I don't care about that shit. Motherfucker, if you think it's so easy, go ahead and bust it out, because I guarantee you the majority of the time, the majority of you are not going to offline play. You are playing the game online, okay? And so you're putting all that time in online. Go ahead and just bust out the rank, because the majority of people that you want to be playing against are going to be in those ranks. And you're going to be running into better players more often the higher that you rank up, okay? So why wouldn't you want to be a Grandmaster? That makes no sense to me. I think it's because you tried to grind Grandmaster and you got tired of it because you kept getting your ass kicked, and then you're like, oh, let me focus on something else to make myself feel better. So you started diverting to like locals and tournament play. You're like, oh, I beat the shit out of this guy. He's like silver rank online, but he played in a tournament. So really that means that I'm good because I went like 2-2 in a tournament. Okay. So for all these people who have never reached a rank like Master or above and who want to say it's so easy, just fucking bust it out. Just bust it out. Like, if you want to talk shit and say it's mad easy, bust it out. I want to see you grind and try to get fucking Master or above. If it's so fucking easy, just do it. Just do it. So, and if you can't do it, and if you try to do it and you never succeeded, stop talking shit to people who are GM or above, because the fact of the matter is you got to put in the work to get those ranks. You got to put in the fucking work. It's that simple. It's that simple. So stop trying to discredit people who play primarily online, because the majority of people play primarily online. The majority of people are not going to tournaments across the country and across the world. That's a huge investment that a lot of people just simply aren't willing to make. So screw me. I think points matter. I think rank means something. Okay, it's one of the only ways you can measure progress in this game. It's one of the only ways you can tangibly measure progress in this game. It's just getting other people's LP, you know. And like, you're gonna be your own judge ultimately there, right? But yeah, I mean, the improvement in the mechanics, the strategy, the game knowledge is going to be reflected, I believe, in your rank. So if you're getting all that stuff and you're being consistent with it and you're practically applying these concepts, that is going to be reflected in your rank. I just think I feel like that's really obvious, and I feel almost like I'm being condescending to people by even saying that on camera, because I feel like that should be such a well understood concept, but apparently it's fucking not. So I mean, take it for what it is. So that's pretty much that, guys. And listen, I'll put this out there. You know, if you're feeling some kind of way about this opinion, you want to play me, you want to beat me, I don't give a shit. I'll run the set versus anybody. I'm not particular. I got friends I play who are still in Super Gold, they're in Platinum, they're in Diamond. I got people I play who are fucking Warlord and UGM. Like, it's all, like, at the end of the day, just because I think rank matters and LP matters and all this shit, doesn't mean that I'm unwilling to run the set with anybody. I don't care. Hit me up. I'll run the set with you. I don't fucking care. If you beat me, I'll give you props. I get going off on a tangent right now on another shit video, but I'm not gonna do that right now about some of the things that I just said. But that's pretty much that, guys. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. I appreciate you tuning in.